It's time for business, and Emmanuel Abaji-Yafe is here, our regular. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Izzy.
All right, I'll leave you to take it away.
All right, thank you. Thanks for joining me on business. In the very first story, government says it has no intention to renegotiate the 3-year IMF program despite the disparities between the amended Bank of Ghana law and the initial IMF agreement. The amended law passed yesterday allows government to borrow up to 5% from the central bank as opposed to the initial agreement of zero borrowing with the IMF. Some economists had earlier asserted the passage may call for renegotiations with the IMF, but Deputy Finance Minister Kesel Ato-Forson says the passage guarantees the independence of the central bank.
Parliament approved is where the central bank has been given functional autonomy to the level that the Ministry of Finance representation on the MPC Monetary Policy Committee are all been removed, to the extent that we don't even have observers from the Ministry of Finance. The other issues relating to financing of government has been limited from the previous 10% to now up to 5%. Parliament felt that as a country like ours, limiting central bank financing to 5% is good enough, because limiting it to 5% does not necessarily mean that you are doing 5%. In fact, it's 0 to 5%. So you can still stay within your framework of 0%.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director of the CETU, the Second Center for Executive Education and Research, who is also a banking consultant, Nana Otuo-Champong, says the amended law is good.
Previously, the ceiling was 10%. And IMF wanted 0. No, the lawmakers have said, no, you can't move from 10 to 0. And now they pitched it at 5%. So I think the lawmakers know Ghana better than IMF. Notwithstanding the independence of the Bank of Ghana, there are also structures of the law, and those laws are passed by Parliament. So whatever their personal wishes are, they don't count. What counts is what do the lawmakers want you to do as a body representing us. And as a body, the lawmakers says from 10% to 0 is not acceptable. Let us go halfway house to 5%. So Bank of Ghana has no option but to work within that 5% that the lawmakers have made. Now, it also brings in some certainty as far as the banking sector is concerned. Because if you have moved to 0 and then maintain this emergency call that in case there's an emergency, Bank of Ghana has to finance. Now, that one, are you going to go into emergency all the time? But if they're giving them something like 5%, it's better. It brings in some certainty, both on the side of both the government and also the regulator, the Bank of Ghana. So I think it's a win-win situation. The ceiling is the 5%.
Exactly.
So if they don't need money, they won't go there. But if they need money, and I think the Minister of Finance is saying they may not need that 5%. That would be fine. But it is there providing some backbone that in case you are not able to meet your revenue targets for some uncontrollable reasons.
And in another development, the Minister of Finance or Governor of the Bank of Ghana should be imprisoned if they fail to comply with new limits on funding of government operations by the central bank. This according to a proposal coming from the civil society group on the IMF bailout. Parliament yesterday amended portions of the Bank of Ghana Act that will restrict government borrowing from the central bank to 5% of previous year's revenue. The group argues that the only way out is to severely punish individuals that flout them. Kanda Pai is a member of the civil society group on oil and gas.
Let us accept it, but let us make sure that it is respected. The previous percentage was never respected over the years, over so many years. Successive governments did not respect that particular obligation they had to limit themselves. To me, and probably to civil society, what is of concern is that whatever the percentage is, let us make sure that it is respected, and that if a particular governor of the bank, if a particular minister of finance goes against it, there will be appropriate sanctions.
What sanctions would you recommend? Because for this situation, because you think that your fear is that, listen, even up to 5%, they will flout that law.
My personal views on this are well known. I mean, sanctions are only as good as they can deter people from repeating the same thing. And I believe, as far as good financial governance is concerned, and in matters such as this, the only sanction that probably works is a custodial sentence. If I had my way, I will send the governor of the bank, who went beyond this, beyond the percentage, and who created so many difficulties for the economy as a result of that. I will recommend that he be sent to court, and if it is found that he did it deliberately, in spite of the law, he should be sent to Nsawam.
Now, international management consultant Jerry Monfand has criticized the government's attempt at using the law to restrict the importation of cement into the country. This is in response to the restriction on the importation of Portland Cement Regulations Bill, which gets passed in Parliament by Friday. In an interview with Joy Business, Dr. Monfand said using the law to prevent competition is a setback to development.
I think it's absolutely wrong track. Why do you have to protect the Ghana cement? If they are competitive enough, they should be able to win the home market. They are not winning the home market because they're not competitive. So going to pass a bill to protect it is rather shredding us and actually making us the lazy people that we can. We cannot compete outside. When we come out here, I don't know the basis. Why do you have to go that way?
To protect the local industry.
Why are you protecting it?
And also create employment.
No, that's not a way to create employment. You can turn it to surplus society and you think employment should be created. If we have about 1,000 or 5,000 of HR people walking around looking for job, and the position we can create in average could be, let's say, 5 at a day, what kind of employment are you creating? That is where I have a problem. So I don't think that what we should do is that we should look at a focus industry, choose a specialized industry that we feel these two industries are gonna core being. Then we help them a lot with the factor of production, getting skilled labor, getting institutions to produce a high skill for people to feed in this industry. That is one. Two, I also talk about establishing, recapitalizing your venture capital funds, such that instead of borrowing from the bank at a high rate that will make it non-competitive, the venture capital can come in to push them to be able to compete when it comes to the price tagging. That is the other aspect of it. And they must upgrade and they must invent.
All right, so it's a Wednesday evening, midweek, of course, and we would like to know how the stock markets fare. John is already here. John, good evening.
Good evening, Emmanuel.
So how did the stock market fare today?
Well, unfortunately, I mean, today's market happened to be a very down one. I would say some kind of mixed feelings there, because I was expecting the market to pick up from yesterday's performance, but unfortunately, today could not be as we're expecting, because yesterday we did see 283 equities actually trading, but today we saw 147, which is quite a market sort of like a decline from what we witnessed yesterday. So almost a volume of about 147,971 of equities exchanged hand today at a value of 33,567. That tells you that if you look at the difference between these two figures, the volume of this at a value of it tells you the type of equities that really change hands. These are low cap equities. In other words, smaller equities on the market that really change hands. That's how come you see a market difference between the total volumes traded and the value traded, but that was able to actually marginally improve the market capitalization from 54,586 to 54,579.64 million Ghana cedis. But fortunately enough, the composite index did marginally improve, and then the financial index also did improve marginally. So we saw these two. So you can tell gradually the market is picking up. The recovery rate, even though not as marginal as significant as we expected, but it's actually seen some improvement, because yesterday was 10.29. Today we are seeing 10.19. Some decline in there. So that's exactly this. That is the summary of the trading activity on the market. And then let's look at those movers of the market. GCB for the third time running actually saw about 6 pesos per share trading on the market, and the market closed for GCB at 3 Ghana cedis 34 pesos per share, and that's exactly the same value they'll be opening the market tomorrow. And then Aluex also did return some 2 pesos per share to investors, and will be opening the market tomorrow at 14 pesos per share. But the decliners, or those equities that deducted some money from the investors' capital, where PBs, that's the produce buying company, and UT Bank, all returning negative 1 peso to their respective investors. Then they'll be opening the market at 3 pesos per share and 3 pesos per share respectively there. And then let's move on to the commodity market to look at how the commodities also did fare. Crude oil marginally improved, but they could not really significantly do that much as exactly so. And then gold also did decline marginally by almost about $5.89, and it's currently in $1,357.74 per barrel. And again, cocoa, for the second time running, is actually gaining some value by the time we're coming to studio, and it's currently trading around 2,958. That's exactly how the commodity market fell. Now let's look at how the Ghana cedi is trading against the major trading currencies here in Ghana. And against the US dollar, the cedi lost. Against the British pound, it gained. The euro gained against it. It gained against the Chinese yuan, but lost against the CFA franc. So Emmanuel, that's how the Ghana cedi is faring against the top 5 commodity currencies on the market, basically.
Okay, let's hope the cedi gains against the dollar,
depending on what exactly the managers of the economy would do, basically.
Thank you very much. And that was John Kojo Amoako, our stock market analyst, with the market update tonight. That wraps up the business segment. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. We have more news coming up. Don't go away.